Hi, Sally. I just about typed. I always do that as soon as I start one. And I'm still in your message, and I guess I hit the microphone because it was typing everything to you. It's doing it again. Look at that. Get out of that. Oh, I'm pooped from going to the park. It was such a nice day, though. It was only 80 degrees, and there was a slight breeze. The park was busy for it being a Tuesday. There was a lot of cars there. There was a pavilion up. When I drove through, it was on the left, and it was full of kids. Yes, my daughter and I used to go to that park. I think we started in 2013. Now, we'd been there when the kids were in high school in the early to mid 2000s, and that was fun. I did ride a bike through there. It's pretty treacherous. Like, there's this one, I think it's called Scream something or other, and it is literally straight down, and it's got these bricks and rocks in it. I mean, it's like you'd be insane to go down that. And of course, my husband and kids went down it. But it's fun to go the opposite way of the bikes and just hike it. And that's what my daughter and I did. I mean, we went for a long time every day after work. But it's big. It's like 8 or 9 mile loop going through there. Debbie, why are you back here? You just you're gonna have time for anything else. I just saw Debbie over on Cynthia's Senior Insights. Man, doesn't she do a good live? I was gonna go live, so I went to my subscriptions to see um, if anybody was live because I didn't want to interfere, and it was Cynthia, and I've never caught her live when she was live. And Chloe is pooped. She sat on the top of her cage till I made her get off, and I put her in her cage. She stayed in there for a nap, and now she's on the top of it. Debbie says, well, let me back up here. So Sally says it looks so beautiful, and Debbie says hi to me and Sally. And then Debbie says, yes, she does. And I don't remember what I was babbling about for you to say that. Well, hello, Rick. We went to the park this morning with my dad and the two dogs and the bird. We weren't there a long time. My dad has his YouTube channel that he started up where he reads the stories that he's written, and he's written a lot. So we got some pictures for him, and I ended up doing a. Are you making fun of me, Sally? She said Tim's here because there's another channel. I don't remember the exact name of it, but I always call him Rick and his name is Tim. Well, not always. I think I've got it down, but I did do a double take. I was like, what? Because it's something retirement journey. It's very similar to Rick's name, but obviously it doesn't say Rick in it. And these little tiny profile pics are so tiny you can't see really what somebody looks like. Now I recognize Debbie's yellow shirt and I recognize Sally's red hair, but I can't even tell what Rick's is. I see two things on it. That's all I can see, and I have no idea what they are. They almost look like the handles on the top of an iron. So yeah, it's exhausting because one dog, she can walk, but she can't walk very far. Like if I take her outside to go potty and bring her back in, she needs a nap. And so she has to be lifted into the car. My dad walks really slow. And then of course I have to bring stuff for the dogs and stuff. And I was tired when we got home. Sally says, you know, I love you, Evie. Well, I love you too, Sally. And there's Rosani. Hi, Rosani. She's saying hello to everyone. Is it Rosani or Rosani? Like Rose, just say like flower if it's Rosani, not Rosani. Rose. Okay. Rosa. So you already know that, Sally. I know my actual name is Evelyn, and when I was in school, it got shortened to Ev and Evie. And then when it's written out, most people call me Evie, but if they don't know me in person, and I really don't care. I like the name Eve too. It's fine. Oh, yeah, I know her name is, I know how it's spelled, Sally, but I don't know if she says it Rosani or Rozani. So I said if she would put the word like rose, I would know this. It's the long O. Oh, Rose. Thanks, Sally. Okay, Rosani. Okay. I know some people are really particular about their names. Like I'm sure, well, when I was calling Tim Rick, he said it was fine. That's kind of a stretch. No, I was telling you the stupid autocorrect that I wasn't correcting you, love. Mm, okay. Rosani. Rosani. Got it. I like that. I'll probably always remember that now. So today is the last day of September, and my husband will be Somebody gave me a like. Thank you. My husband will be working till probably like 10 o'clock tonight, which I hate that, but I don't have to cook. We have plenty of leftovers. I think I want to go to another park next week. It's called Collin Park, which is a big lake. It's like our water supply lake. And they have a beach area. Like you drive down the road, and if you turn to the right, there is the day use area, which has like a sandy beach. And I know there's restrooms. I know there's a marina and a store. And I know people fly their RC planes out there, but I haven't been out there in a long time. And I don't know if they have shaded picnic areas. On the other side, if you turn left, is a campground. And years ago, oh, Debbie says, I was watching your video when I saw you were live. Well, thank you for doing both, Debbie. The kids and I and another family and dad and all that went, the father of the kids all went to this campground, and we camped for like the whole 9 days, like weekend to weekend. And my husband and the other husband of the other lady they would sleep there, like we'd cook our dinner and have our little campfire and stuff at night. And then they would drive back to the house, which was like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something, take a shower, put their suits and ties on, and head into work. And then do the same thing at night, drove by the house, change into camping clothes, and come out and camp with me and the kids. It was a blast. So that video that you're talking about, Debbie, I wasn't sure if I had enough footage or not because I was helping. Hey, Q and Sophie are here. Hello, hello. I wasn't sure if I had enough footage for a video or not because I was taking pictures the same time my dad was taking pictures so that I could send them to his tablet. Q, were you on with Mrs. G the other day? I think you might have been. Sally says, hello, Sunshine Girl Q. I love the name Sophie. I know it's your dog's name. I have a sister named Sophia, and I think her husband calls her Sophie. Debbie Sue says, it was fine. I needed to go back and leave a comment. LOL. That's what I did to Cynthia. I watched her coffee video. I have one of those little iPad minis in my bathroom. When I'm getting ready, I'll play a video, and usually like hers comes up first in my feed in the morning. So I'll listen to hers. And then it went right into another video. And I was like, I need to go back and comment. And I don't think I did, but I did make my comment in her live today about, she was talking about decaffeinated coffee is disgusting. And I don't drink caffeine, so I drink only decaf. With my insomnia, I don't need to add caffeine at any time. And Q says it's been a couple of weeks when I was on her live. Okay. Maybe I saw when I had just refreshed and I had to get off and walk away. And when I did, I thought I saw both of y'all's faces. So maybe it was one I've already watched. I hate when they do that, when they put the video back in your feed that you've already watched. The Q says hello to Sally. I love Mrs. G's live. She does such a good live. The last one I think that was a video she did in the park where she was talking about 6 things in YouTube. Hey, Rebounding with Cheryl. Hi there. We are just getting started. I didn't put any kind of a subject because every time I do, we end up changing subjects. The last time we talked about, one time I put subject was pets and nobody had any pets that came on. And then the next time we ended up, maybe it was that time, we ended up talking about things we got away with in high school and things we got caught doing in high school. So I decided just to leave the subject open. If anybody has anything that they would like to talk about, then let's do it. Otherwise, I could come up with something. I will say, so I let the fall bug bite me because of Sally. She was decorating for fall, so I went out and I did the whole thing, and now I'm tired of it. Now all I want is Christmas up, and I can't do Christmas. It's almost October 1st. But I know people are really loving the fall, and I do. I like the weather in fall. And, the pumpkins and the oranges and the greens, those are all fine. But, man, that Christmas decoration, that is my favorite. And I can't really take this down too early. And there's not a lot of decorations out for Thanksgiving, but that's November. This is like the 3rd or 4th week in November. This is the end of September. I don't want everybody to go away because I'm not talking about anything. Okay, let's talk about holidays. Let's talk about who hosts the holiday dinner at their house and who goes out and who goes to another friend's or relative's house for a holiday dinner. Sally says, I already told you this month. Well, October, I'm putting up Christmas tree because of the funk I get into for the holidays, and I never get the tree up, so I'm going to buy October to see if I... And Cheryl says, I'll be 65 next month and won't retire for 3 years maybe, but loving meeting new retirees. Well, Cheryl, do you like your job, or are you having to work 3 more years? Because that makes me sad if you have to work and you don't love it. Sally says, combat that funk I always get into. I had one funky set of holidays, and it was in 21 when my daughter, she passed away that March, and I don't think I even decorated that year. I just let it go by. And Q says, I usually go to a friend's house for Thanksgiving and sometimes Christmas. That is so fun. When I was young and we'd first moved to Texas, we didn't have any family here. We didn't have any friends here. And so they did, what they call a Friendsgiving. And it was so much fun because the people brought food and brought kids, and you got to meet so many people and eat some good food. Boy, the host sure had their hands full though, because so many people, and your house can be big and it can still fill up with people. Cheryl says, I love my job, but my husband hasn't worked for 2 years. Oh, okay. Well, do you do an easy job or is it laborious, Cheryl? Because it can feel like laborious sitting at a desk too, because that's what got me in so much my neck and shoulders from sitting at a computer keyboard and, putting my arms forward. And Q says, I'm sorry to hear that, Evie. My condolences to you. Oh, thank you. And Debbie Sue says, it is low key for us. It's just me and my husband. We don't go anywhere either. I think 2020 changed the whole family dynamics. I think the family doesn't see each other as much as they used to. It used to be just a given that you went to somebody's house for a holiday dinner, and um, you, all the kids got together, the cousins got together, and we played games and so on. And then when it became like we had to be separated from each other, then nobody came back, you know? And I don't know if you like that, Debbie, being low key or not. I guess I don't mind it, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of sad because it's just another day of the year. My best Christmas was in 2017. We moved into this house, and there were no grandbabies born yet. Not that that made it best, but it meant all the adults were freed up. And so I had, sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, um, my daughter and her boyfriend, my son and his girl, or wife, and then people just kept coming. There would be a knock at the door, and it was my kids' friends from when they were growing up, and they got all invited to the Christmas, and I had no idea. So the house was full, and it was so fun. The last knock came at like 9:30, and the young man had come in from Arizona, and it was so nice to see them all. It's like the last time I saw a good bit of them together. And Q says, typically it's just me during the at least Thanksgiving because my children are grown and one goes to his in-laws and my other son usually spends most of the day with his dad and then he comes here with me. How old is he? Is he like, I guess he's not married with kids. And Cheryl says, I work for a firefighters union as an administrative assistant. It's not hard at all. Well, that's good. So it is an office job. And I assume that it's full time. And Q says, but the coming holidays, I believe my son and daughter-in-law will come to the East Coast, so I'll probably host here at my house. That's exciting. And Cheryl says, I used to decorate for the holidays, but not so much anymore. No one comes over. Yeah, I've done that before too. And then when like Christmas is actually here, then I'm kind of sad that I didn't do it. But then when Christmas is over, I'm not sad. I don't have to box it all up and put it in the attic. And Q says, not the youngest son. The boys are 37 and 33. Okay. Well, your oldest is close to mine. My son's going to be 39 in November. And my daughter was 2 years behind him. And Q says, I don't do much decorating either, Cheryl. Maybe this year, though. And you know what? What I've seen in the stores is it used to be that you could go in and get some really good Christmas decorations without having to go to like a specialty store. One that like the Christmas year-round stores. The stuff is so cheap. Like I have stuff that I've had for a long, long time and it's made out of wood and it's got, some heavy metal on it and everything else looks like it came from the Dollar Tree. And I'm not hating on Dollar Tree, but you expect to get something that may not be the highest quality or may not last when you go there, but you go to another store and you kind of expect it to be a little better quality and it's not even cheap. I mean, in price. And Q says November what? Oh, November 13th. He was due November 21st. He came early. And Cheryl says, I gave all my Christmas decorations away when we moved from Texas to Florida. Oh, well, I get that. Well, Cheryl, where did you live here in Texas? That's where I'm at. And Sue says, yeah, that's true. Q says my youngest birthday is November 2nd and mine is the 29th. I like that month for having a baby because you're going into the holidays, and that year I had to do nothing, just take care of the baby. Oh, you lived in Corpus Christi? Nice. I don't think I've ever been to Corpus Christi. I've been to Galveston. And what's that island called down there? The one where all the college kids go. Padre, I think. I haven't been there either. I've only been down to Galveston twice. Cheryl says that she grew up in Austin. That's a nice little city. I suppose the younger you are, the more fun it would be. I've been through Austin. I don't think I've ever stayed there. I remember that highway that one goes down and one goes up, and you trying to figure out which one's faster, and I think they're both the same. But I go through there when I've gone to New Braunfels to float the Guadalupe. And that is fun. Cheryl is asking where I am. I am north of Dallas, about 20 minutes. And excuse me, I was born in California, and then we moved to Puerto Rico, and then we moved back to California, and then we moved to Oregon. And then when I was grown up, I moved to Michigan for less than a year, and then I've been here in Texas since 1988. So I still have a really soft spot in my heart for the West Coast. I think because I was in the valley, so it was 45 minutes to the beach and about 20 minutes to the mountains, maybe 30 minutes. So there was so many outdoor things to do. Cheryl says, wow, you've been around. Yeah, I have until 88, and then I pretty much stopped here. I I didn't have a good experience in Michigan because I was right outside of Detroit, and it was very populated, and the people were not friendly to me anyway. And it was really hard. That was like leaving my little tiny town in Oregon and moving to a very populated place. You know, I wasn't used to locking car doors. I wasn't used to locking house doors. And I wasn't used to not talking to people in the grocery store line. I talked constantly, and I kept just getting, like, they'd look at me like, why did you say that to me? We don't talk in the grocery store line. And then if it was like the store was busy, it was like the cashier would check the groceries and then throw them in the bag. And this was like before scanning. And if its store was busy and you didn't get up there and start bagging the groceries for her, somebody in line would start yelling, hey, get up there and bag those groceries. Hi, Donna. Donna's here. We've been trying to find a subject that we can settle on. We were just talking about holidays and who's cooking, who's going to someone's house, who's staying home by themselves. And I was just talking about where I've lived. Donna says, I saw your video earlier with your dad. Yeah, I didn't know if I had enough material to put something together, and it probably wasn't super interesting. So it worked out pretty good. I think initially he didn't sleep well last night. He didn't really want to, not that he didn't want to go. I think he didn't really feel it going. And then we got out there and he was really happy he went. And then when he saw the pictures we got, he was really happy we went. Oh, Donna says to forget the extra characters. Yeah, I figured I saw that. I thought either you were cussing at him or he didn't mean to do it. So I went with it, didn't mean to do it. So Donna, you are in Indiana, right? Is that right? And Cheryl's in Florida. She said Debbie Sue is in Virginia, right? Did I say Indiana? Okay, yeah, I did. You said yes. Donna's saying, no, I don't swear in real life. So Q, or where are you at? I probably have known before and I don't remember anymore. Donna's at it again. She says hi to 60 plus, and her name is Q. And her puppy's name is Sophie. Cheryl is asking, does anyone on here have new channels? You mean like starting a new second channel? And Donna says, I am so sorry, fat fingers today. I know Catherine YouTube over, I think one of hers is YouTube over 60 and one is over 40. She's the one that wrote the book Flourish. She has 2 channels. One is quite a bit smaller. I think yesterday I had less than, I don't want to say because I might be wrong, but I know she started a second channel. I have had 4 channels over the years. The first one was in about 2009, and the second one was in 2019, I think. And then I had one in 2020, which I still have. And then this one is from this year. So Q is laughing at you, Donna, because you can't type today. And Q says, Donna says, wow, 4. 2 of them I deleted. And Q says, my channel is the only one I have so far. And Cheryl says, I can barely do 1 channel. Well, I thought about starting another one. I just haven't decided for sure. I feel like I post too much on my main channel now because I love it so much. And I'm just like, okay, what can I make a video about? Like a kid with a new crayon. What can I color? What can I color? And so I thought maybe I need to get another channel and then it'll be completely different. And then I can go back and forth because I am retired. It's my hobby. So I'm loving what I'm doing, but I don't want to make people go, oh my gosh, will she please just stop? We're tired of seeing you. So I thought if I got another channel that would help me. But I have a channel that's for my birds, which is such a very small niche. It's been up 5 years. There's only it's less than 360 subscribers, and it's a very non-interactive channel. If somebody's going to say something, I'm not talking about the people that are on my channel that have gone over there and made comments, but a lot of times it will be, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, that just, kind of critical, which was kind of the thing that I found with one of the other channels that I did. It was on eating keto and stuff and exercising. And there was a group of ladies that was in that. This was, 2019, so 6 years ago. And the ladies were, they were just mean. They were just really, really mean. I mean, they criticized everything. So Rosani says, I go to my friends for Thanksgiving and Christmas because I don't have any family close by. I used to love going to Cracker Barrel for Thanksgiving with my late hubby, and I miss that. Oh, well. Oh, Rosani. Yeah, I know. My mom died in 2022, and we moved my dad in with us. He lived in Arkansas. We moved into Texas, and I know he still misses her so much. And I don't even know if I should say this or not. I doubt that he rewatches these lives, but I said he's 88 and he's ordered a 2-wheel bicycle. Now that scares me because he walks with a cane. Not that he needs the cane all the time. Like today we went to the park. He took a cane with him. And I just, hey, quit. And I would just hate to see him fall and break something, because that's going to be the end of the life the way he knows it. And so I know he's trying to stay busy. I forgot why I said that, because my mom is gone and they were married 60 years. And, they were together way longer than before they were married. So I get that. But as we get older, we have to understand that there's certain risks that are not worth taking. Like, I wanted to get one of those little motorized scooters, the little wheels and the basket on it, and I could put the dog on the little platform where you put your feet, and off we'd go. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to buy one of these. And he goes, don't you dare. He said, you will kill yourself on that thing. So I heeded my warning. I didn't buy one, but I mean, sometimes you just have to leave things that were better done in your youth in the past and move forward with safer activities. He has a motorized trike that, it's like pedal assist, so he can get around. He can go out and enjoy himself. But a two-wheel at 88, when he hasn't ridden one in, I don't know how many years, I just don't think it's a good idea. Donna says, I have a really small channel, haven't posted much. It's Christian based. I thought about doing that too, because I read the Bible every morning, and I thought I could share something like that. Sally, Sunrise with Sally, I know she reads some scripture or inspirational in the mornings. And I think Paula Does Retirement does some sort of a scripture. I've never seen it. I don't know what the name of it is, but I think that's what she said. And I don't think the last time I heard she was too active on it, like her main one. And Donna says, I enjoy your channel content. Thank you. I sure enjoy making it. And Donna says, they have 3-wheel bicycles. I was in an Amish country yesterday. and lots of Amish use 3-wheel bicycles. I have a recumbent trike. I won't ride a 2-wheel bicycle. I tried, I don't know, it was maybe like 10 years ago. And I felt completely insecure and I'm like, no, I'm not going to fall off of this thing. Oh, welcome back, Rick. And Donna says, I watch Sally when I get up early enough. Yes. Now, she's also an hour ahead of me. So for me to get up early enough, it means that she gets up early, and then that's even earlier for me. If I could sleep in till 7, that's the time I like to get up. And most of the time I can do that. Sally says, I don't think Paula has really been doing her scripture Bible study. Donna, thank you for watching, but you can do the replay. Yes. That's why I try to read these comments out, because people watch the replays, and unless you're reading what the people are saying, there would be no way to keep up. And Rosani says, yep, a 2-wheel at 88 is risky, but good exercise. Does he have a bike helmet? Yes, he has a bike helmet, but I'm worried about elbows and hips and knees and things like that. He did buy a bike, one of those traveling ones that you fold up, about a year ago. He wanted to take off on a bus ride and go to Oregon and get on the bike and go find a motel to stay in and go see my sisters and so on. I have 4 sisters. And just going down out of the driveway, he crashed. And so he sent the bike back. And I mean, it was 2-wheel, and it's shorter than I'm sure the one that he's ordered. Donna says, hi to Sally. And Cheryl says, I've tried to incorporate Christian content into my fitness channel. And recently someone said I lost them when I prayed, LOL. I have not had that happen. I haven't prayed on my channel, but I've definitely talked about how I feel my relationship with God got me through losing my daughter, as well as many other things in my life. And it's okay if they want to leave, that's okay. I mean, I feel I guess, bad for them that they wouldn't be open to seeing what somebody was actually talking about. There's so many people that have, been Christians and prayed and read the Bible for so many years that I think it would be hard to say that it's wrong. It would be worth investigating. And Donna says she'll watch the replay, and Sally said yay. And Sally said today wasn't a very good one because I was rather depressed about some things going on. I would rather blah. Yeah, we have days like that. And when they run into the next day, I don't sleep well. And Sally says, but Rhonda called me and got me out of sorts. Good. That's what friends are for, to kind of lift you up and, help you along the way, because it's not going to change the situation. It's just going to change how you see it. And Debbie says, I'm glad Rhonda called, Sally. So Cheryl, back to your person that you lost them when you prayed. Does that make you shy back from that? Or I think what surprises me is the fact that somebody would be, I don't know if the word is bold, but I'll just use that word, bold enough to say, hey, I'm leaving you because of this. I mean, what's wrong with just quietly leaving and saying to themselves, I don't want to see this? Donna says, I was driving through a small town and a poster said, Jesus isn't God. I was driving, couldn't read the rest. And Cheryl says, no, not really. Well, that's good. I don't know what to think about that. Jesus isn't God, because I mean, there's three, so I don't know if that's what they were alluding to, and it was just worded. I don't know. Donna says, Sally, glad you have a friend you can talk to. Yes, some of us have each other's phone numbers, and that is nice, to be able to give somebody a little text or a little phone call. And Q says, I agree, Abby. Just quietly leave if it's not something you like. Yeah, exactly. Because I might enjoy like watching somebody go into a thrift store or those storage buildings that people buy and they go through the stuff, but that's not what I'm going to watch every day. So I'm probably not going to subscribe, and I'm not going to be back for a while. But I enjoy it once in a while. But I wouldn't say, oh, you bought a trashy junk storage thing, I won't come and watch you again. I mean, just be done. And Donna said, I agree. They had more info, but I was driving. LOL, I didn't want to wreck. Yeah, I think some of you on here saw the video that I put out on Saturday. I'm going to move this bird. She's competing with me. You need to hush your little mouth. You're too loud. I'll put you in the living room. Anyway, I put a video up on Saturday of going to the bird store, and a girl on a motorcycle wrecked. And I mean, it rattled me bad. I was trying to call my husband, and my hands, I couldn't make my fingers hardly work. And so for some of you that didn't see it, I'm driving along in the second to the right lane on a toll road. So everybody's going 70 or better. And I heard a motorcycle coming, and I look, and she goes right in front of me, like cuts me off, goes in front of me. And she's kind of laid to the side, like her head toward the right of the road. And then she uprighted it. And there's two cars right in front of me that are side by side. And she gets on the white line, the painted white line in between them. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Didn't know it was a girl at the time. It was just a small person. And pretty soon the back tire like kicked over. I don't know if it was the paint or one of those reflectors, but it kicked over and it hit it was like a black Nissan Altima. It hit it. And then she started like spinning, and the bike was flipping, and she came off of the bike and she hit the guardrail with her body. And then the bike is spinning, and it stopped spinning, and it's coming right toward my car, right centered in the lane. and I took a very blurry, dirty picture of it. But I mean, what could I do? All I could do was try to stop and hope nobody hit me in the back. I mean, I wasn't going that fast because I saw what she was doing, but I wasn't expecting, she was ahead of me. I wasn't expecting a bike to come toward me. And so, as far as I know, she was okay. She was up walking around, which blew me away. She had all the gear on, like her right shoulder had a bunch of road rash on it, like the jacket or coat had like come off of her shoulder. But she was walking around and she had really long hair, and she must have weighed like 90 pounds. She was teeny tiny. And as they're moving the bike out of the way, I'm like creeping, following so the traffic can move. And I look over and I make eye contact with her. And like I said, her hair was like down all on one side and she's down like this. And she looks up at me and she makes eye contact. And then she just looks back down. I mean, I know that if she knew that was going to happen, she would not have done that. But, so scary. And let's see, where did I leave off? Donna said, it bothered me though. We can't really say much about Jesus. You mean like somebody will say something bad if you say something about Jesus? And Donna says, oh no, I didn't see that video. It was scary. I didn't see that video. It was scary. And Rick says, very scary. Could have been tragic. Yes. And it brought back I talk about at the end of the video, it brought back the memories of all the accidents that my daughter had been in. I won't rehash all those, but getting that phone call is terrible. It doesn't matter how old your kid is. If they are in the hospital and you don't know if they're going to live or die, it is awful. And Donna says, no, I meant the big poster in this small town. Oh, okay. And Debbie Sue says that was a terrible experience, Evie. Yes, it was. So that was Saturday. I don't think I drove on Sunday. I did. I went to HEB on Sunday. And so I went down the alley, our garages are in the back. I went down the alley, got out onto the road. And as soon as I turned out, I felt afraid. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I afraid? And I was like, oh, it was that accident yesterday. I was like, you're going to have to shake it off. And I did. But I wish there was some way that I could get updated. Oh, I only want the update that girl is okay, but I have no way of knowing. And Donna says, a parent's worst nightmare, hearing their child was injured. Yes, or worse, that they've passed away. So many young ones that happens to. I had a good friend in high school that I was getting ready to go to my 10-year high school reunion, and he lived out in Hawaii. So I was going from Texas to Oregon. And when we got to the reunion, they said that he passed away in a motorcycle accident the day before the reunion. And Rick says, Evie, you had mentioned the YouTube videos you watch. I have subscribed to many and attempt to watch them all. I break them up during the week, usually in the morning. Yeah. I'm just saying that there's stuff that like a storage building might capture my attention. I have no idea who that person is. And then I will watch it, but I may not go back to that channel just because I wanted to see that one video. And Cheryl says, I miss HEB. We don't have them here in Florida. Yeah, you have Publix there, right? Is Publix like a Sprouts, or do you even know what Sprouts is? HEB is amazing. The first time I was in HEB, I was down in New Braunfels, and we had come from the campground to get ice and sandwich stuff or whatever, some drinks. And I walked into HEB, and it was much bigger than the one that we have here. I mean, this is big, but this was like, they had dining room furniture, couches. I mean, it was like a super center in there. I mean, not like a whole furniture section, but they had furniture in there. And I was like, wow, I want HEB. And then finally they came here. Debbie says, my family got those phone calls twice from my two brothers. Both had motorcycle accidents and didn't survive. Losing two children. Oh my goodness. One's enough for me. I have one left. Rick says, besides videos about retirement, I also watch videos about eBay, hiking, financial. My husband is all about the financial. He lives, eats, and breathes that, but he's learned a lot, which is honestly why I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, because he takes care of all of that, all the investments and stuff. And Donna says, so sorry to hear that, Debbie Sue. Were they young, or were they like young adults, or were they like, 30s? Not that that's not young, but you know what I mean. And Rick says, of course I have to watch yours. Oh, thank you, Rick. And the busier you get making videos, it feels like less that you can catch up on. It just gets on top of you. And then I don't even know how Debbie Sue watches anyone's videos, because she is on. I was on one live today that she was not on, and I think it's because she doesn't watch that channel. She's everywhere. And Sally says, you can start the day off, Rick, with sunshine with Sally, LOL. Rick, where are you at? I know I should know. I want to say you're in the Midwest somewhere, like Ohio or not Indiana. I don't know. Let us know. And Rick said, I'm going to add that to my list. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about. And Donna says, never heard of HEB, must not be in the Midwest. No, I don't know exactly what area they cover. It's someone's name. It's like initial H, initial E, and then B is the last name, I think. And Debbie Sue says, thank you, Donna. And Cheryl says, Publix is a monopoly. We shop mostly at Whole Foods. So is Publix more expensive than Whole Foods? Because Whole Foods is expensive. And Rick says, I tossed up a video today about tomatoes, feeding the birds, etc. I'm in Virginia. Okay, I think I maybe did know that, because we were talking about you and Debbie Sue being close-ish. And Debbie says, one brother was 21, I was 13. The other one was 61, and this was 8 years ago. Ooh, 61. How do your parents even deal with that? Like, well, maybe your parents aren't here anymore, but 2 kids to the same thing. I mean, I know they were years and years and years apart. Rick says, I am in the same state as Debbie Sue, Virginia. And Debbie agrees. Yes, we are, Rick. And Cheryl says, Harry E. Butt, for real. And then she took it back. But Sally saw it. Cheryl, Mr. Butt. I remember I did look it up, and I was like, I wonder what that is. And I was like, well, maybe I would just use the initial, because it is spelled with 2 T's. And Donna says, I think we had a Whole Foods in my town, but closed. We have a Fresh Market, not sure how many stores they have. And Rick says, to Debbie Sue, it's cloudy, overcast, and cool. And Sally says, I'm in Pennsylvania. I did know that. I should have said that. I'm sorry. You're either in Pittsburgh or close to Pittsburgh. And Donna says, I've lost 2 brothers to illness over the years. Was so hard on my parents. I bet. Because I have 4 sisters, and we're still all around. I'm the oldest is 62. I have a 60, 50, 2 twins that are 56, and then a 50. No, I don't know. There's 5 years apart. The youngest one's 5 years younger than me. So whatever that is, 57, somewhere, something like that. I don't know all their ages. when Sally actually is in Pittsburgh. And Sally says, you, me, and Debbie Sue could do lunch. LOL. However, I'm dying to get the taxes to see Evie and Rhonda in Texas. And Rick says, Sally D's reality noted. We've driven close to there many times when heading to New York or Michigan. Well, hopefully you can make it to Texas, Sally. And Debbie Sue says, my mom almost had a nervous breakdown when my first brother passed away. She had already passed away when my second brother passed away. Okay. Is your dad still alive then or no? And Donna says, I'm the oldest of 5. Me too. I have 2 sisters who are much younger than me. Man, we were all so close in age. It was constantly scrapping and fighting about something. Telephone time, clothing, who got to what chair first. I mean, you name it, we could fight about it. And Sally says, I need to give you 2 girls a hug in person. You're my Sunshine Girls. I want to meet all of my Sunshine Girls. I guess you like to travel, right, Sally? Because I absolutely do not like to travel. I mean, if I go 30 minutes away, I'm like going, I'm just uncomfortable. And I'm going to go to Lake Murray before it gets cold. And that's an hour and 15 minutes away. And I'm going to do it. So when my mom was sick and my dad lived in Arkansas, I drove 6 hours each way to see them as often as I could. And I hated it. A couple of times I went there early in the morning from here, drove 6 hours, ate lunch with them, and then drove 6 hours back home. And okay, so did I read the wrong person? Because Rick said he's the oldest of 5. So yes, Donna and Rick and myself are all the oldest of 5. Now, do you have all boys or do you have some girls in there, Rick? Because my parents, we were trying for a boy. They sure didn't get one. Debbie Sue says, oh, I read that one. No, I didn't. No, he passed away a year after my mom. So that's what I worry about with my dad. I thought he was going to go pretty quick after my mom. And March has been 3 years. And Cheryl says, my only child, Lisa Rose, was murdered at 19. I lost 2 brothers and a nephew in a 2-year period. If I didn't have Jesus in my life, I don't think I would be alive today. Oh my gosh. See, Cheryl, that's how I feel about losing my daughter. And she died of a drug overdose. And it was a long, horrible path to get there. But it doesn't take away the fact that she was my daughter and I loved her dearly. And she made some horrible choices. But murdered, oh my goodness. I mean, if you want to tell us more about it, I mean, you can. If you don't, I understand. And Sally says, not really, Evie, but I want to see you. It is worth it if I can see you and Rhonda. You're so sweet. And Rick says, I love to travel. I could name the places, but I do not want to be braggadocious. Did you make that word up? I like it. Sally says, I'm the oldest of 4. Wow. So we know Debbie's not the oldest because she's 59 and one of her brothers died at 61. When are you going to be 60, Sally? I mean, Debbie Sue? And so I read Sally was the oldest of 4. And Rick says, including me, 3 boys and 2 sisters. So they just needed 1 more girl for the Brady Bunch. And Donna says, rebounding with Cheryl, how awful, so sorry. And Debbie Sue says, oh, Cheryl, I'm so sorry. And Rick's retirement, I'm so sorry to hear that, Cheryl. And Rick also says, nope, it's a real world. Is it really? Braggadocious. I really like that word. It reminds me of bodacious. And Donna said to Rick, I think I've seen you in another live chat. And Debbie Sue says, June. Oh, okay. June, you're going to be 60. So you just turned 59. And Donna says, I was the one and only child for 11 months. Oh, wow. 11 months. You don't remember. So did we lose Cheryl? Did she leave? She may have gotten upset because she just talks about that she was 19 and then losing 2 brothers and a nephew in a 2-year period. That's awful. I hope she didn't leave upset. I hope she's still here. I mean, what I've been through is not that much, but I found that people, I had my last job for 31 years, over 31 years. And so this happened during that time period because it was only 4 years ago. So I'd been there in the high 20s, 20 some years, and people like backed away. They didn't talk to me about it. People I'd known for a very long time, and it really hurt my feelings. I wanted to talk. I wanted to share what was going on with me and how I was feeling. I think she left. I think we lost a person. How long are we? Oh, we're at 56, almost 57 minutes. So I can let you guys go. That went fast. Thank you guys. If you want to hit like before we quit. Oh, she still is there. Cheryl's still here. I was afraid you left, Cheryl. Donna says, people don't know what to say, and that is sad. I hope you heard what I said, Cheryl, because I know not everybody is that way, but I wanted to reach out to my friends, the people I knew. I don't know, sharing the pain. I don't know. I wanted somebody a real person, And I think I read Cheryl said, thank you, everyone. And Donna said, I just hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I know Debbie Sue has been on YouTube for a while today because I know she was on Cynthia's before mine because I went on a deal live and Cynthia was already doing one. So I didn't want to go at the same time she was up. So thank you, everybody. It was a nice conversation. I wish I could come up with a good subject before we start instead of like, well, we're really getting rolling, then the hour is up. So take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.